I'll call the meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you want me to go down there by and tell him that you can have the tubes if you take them out?
That'd be my suggestion.
All right, I can do it. Unless we're really late or anything, I'll go by.
It's a minute.
But he's gonna have to coordinate with me so they don't just go take the culvert out and there's a hole there.
I didn't say anything, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Only thing, was that 2,000 miles of stripe, Lumber County?
$2,000 per mile.
Okay, that's the only thing that I had a question. I didn't think it was quite that much.
Yeah, that's what I remember you saying.
Okay.
To add or change, entertain a motion to accept minutes for Tuesday, February 10th.
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried 2-0. Let's see what we got. Did you have any committee reports?
No.
I didn't have any committee reports either. Okay. Got Matt here. Matt, sorry. These are the appropriations.
Got a PO for 72-inch culvert, 2773 Ottawa Road. That's the culvert that Mount Pleasant was here inquiring about.
Okay.
$2,485.
72-inch culvert. Okay. And that replaces.
That will replace the.
What road is? What is that? That's on Ottawa.
It's just off of Ottawa. It's not that one.
Did you say it was north of 230?
Yeah, it's just north of 230th to the east there.
Oh, so like down where you're kind of going the.
Yeah, Troy Wilburn. It's just a dead end. Troy Wilburn lives at the end of it. A lot of, there's a bunch out in the field there too. Of course, the blue lines are paved county roads and the red lines are rock county roads.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
That's got an email address and everything. Sure. Appreciate that.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Did you see it online?
I think that's 3,000.
It's 3,485.
So, Schwarzer, this is a new county commissioner here, you know.
I don't
Probably know
really
you
know.
out there.
We were neighbors.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay.
my neighbor. And I don't know what proper procedure is. I brought something that Peggy needs signed because she did not get into town due to the weather. She's
Okay.
been on a trip. It's for smooth lines for the dinosaurs. I'm just going to walk all the way down here for us.
$6,152.84.
6,152?
Yeah.
84.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know where you live, and I thought I knew where Eric lived, but evidently I don't. You
We used to live out at the school that he was my neighbor.
Okay, I get you.
Back in the good old days.
Welcome on board.
Oh, thank you.
Paul, do you need a copy of that? or-
No, that's true.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And best of luck, my friend, thank you.
Sorry.
No.
Okay.
Good one.
I hope to.
Then I have, an agreement, Pat looked this over and said everything was okay. I have an agreement for, engineering services from Schwab Eaton for our, Potato Hill Bridge project in 2016. This is for the preliminary engineering, the off-system bridge program. And it is total of $38,700. The engineer's estimate was $46,000, so it's well under the estimated cost. So there's 2 copies.
Again, Matt, what was this for?
This is for a bridge at,
The one you were talking about when I walked in, down,
Culver,
well,
the one they're looking at now.
okay.
This is at 266 in Sherman. It's for a 2016 off-system bridge grant we got to replace the bridge down there. This is just all preliminary engineering. The actual bridge won't be constructed until 2016, but everything starts, you know, a year or two ahead of time.
Sure.
That's about a quarter of a mile south of that grain elevator that blew up down there.
Okay.
Yeah, Bartlett. You got the water treatment and then just
I know right where's that.
Yeah, it's kind of headed off at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that one right there.
Has Pat had a chance to review?
Yeah, he looked at it, and, he emailed me and said everything looked, in order.
So total cost of $38,700.
We had it at 42, we had it kind of incidental 42.
The estimate when it turned in for the grant was $46,000 for the engineering. Yeah. That was the BG's estimate.
That's money going to us. What's that, chief?
It's in order. They've got a good plan on it.
Okay,
Councilor's review.
I make a motion that we sign up on 85-25-4 project number. That's the bridge down on Sherman and
266 in Sherman.
266 in Sherman.
So 2016, off-system bridge grant. And this is, for Schwab Eaton for the preliminary engineering on the bridge.
Chances are, if we can't get a hold of the landlord with us, we'll have to condemn it. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully you, will be able to find it.
You get 2 papers signed?
Yeah, no problem.
I'll second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any discussion? Okay, 2-0. you heard any timeline on that Dolly Bottom Bridge?
Oh, yeah.
On that is,
No, should be here or something here, it's in the month or so, I think, so I don't know. A review with KDOT, and usually not too long after that they start, Got your map there for you, Pat.
Is that from you or from Roger?
It's from me.
Did you get one there?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Of course, you knew
Well, I try.
Rusty, yeah.
I don't know if you wanna talk to the culvert down there that Bruce Lowe was in about the, two culverts, we discussed at the last meeting that we'd like to keep the culverts and, I think Bruce said the township would like to keep the culverts, so I guess we just need to decide what we wanna do on that.
I think you had a good idea, because like you said, we told them we wanted culverts, and then we're probably gonna give them back, just, it's no big deal. And if we tear them up, we did it on purpose, so if he wants them, he pulls them out, he gets with you in a timely fashion, so once we pull them out, we're ready to go back in. And if he doesn't wanna do that, we're gonna keep the culverts.
Okay.
But there's some concrete poured around and I can see some damage being done.
Yeah, there's gonna be probably a little damage. I would say they'll probably have to hire service to pull them out, cause I don't know if they have backhoe or anything.
You're probably looking at what, maybe $300 or $350 or two?
Probably, it shouldn't take too
Yeah,
long to
it's
do
not
that,
much.
cause they're not very deep or anything.
How do they put something, so how did they end up putting, I guess, the culvert in the first place, and then it looks like it's way undersized, do you not have any, like,
They-
surveys, or, I mean, just looking at all the debris and rock in the stream bed, it looks like it's way undersized.
Bruce told me that's what FEMA suggested, but I don't know exactly how it happened, but yeah, they're way undersized.
So they just went ahead and put in the culvert.
Yeah. They put in one culvert, that didn't work, so they put in another one and had that concrete poured around the end, and it still doesn't work. It just, they're so small, it just plugs up with debris as soon as it starts raining.
So is that concrete just back there, or does that go all the way across the tubes, or is that just on the lower end?
It's just on the top end.
Well, I would guesstimate that they pocketed some money. I don't see no $8,000 in that little bit of concrete, 2 tubes. He said, as of right now, they got $8 grand in it. I don't see that. They may have collected $8 grand,
Right.
but I don't see no $8,000 over there.
What about permits and everything?
They
Put that in.
did nothing.
We don't need a permit, it's only 375 acres.
Okay.
Are you gonna talk to Bruce then?
Okay.
Okay, I'll order that culvert, but it'll probably it could take up to 3 to 4 weeks to get that culvert. So, he just needs to coordinate with me in, a month or so, or I can call him when I get the culvert in, and then we can coordinate it. We just don't want him to go rip out the culvert when we don't have anything put back in there.
Okay, I'll ask one and we're gonna have a head nod. If I go down there and tell him, if they take the culverts out, they can have them. But if he says, no, I'm not gonna take them out, then I'm gonna tell him that we're gonna keep them.
That's only right, I mean, if they get damaged, I mean, if we take them out and they get damaged.
That's what I'm afraid of.
it's gonna be-
If we take them out and we tear them up, they're gonna be saved that we did on purpose. That's what I'd be afraid of.
And I think that's being more fair. If they want the tubes, you can have tubes, but you take them out, but you have to get with Matt and Todd, because we want that man to,
Yeah.
when you're taking out, we want to be right behind you,
Yeah.
going back in.
Right.
If you're willing to do that.
Same
we're
day
fine
or,
with that.
yeah.
Cause you got the purchase order, how long, I mean, you're still looking at ways out, I mean.
I would probably, unless they have one made, probably 3 to 4 weeks, I'll have them over.
And then what's your installation, I mean,
I mean, if we get in right behind them, we could probably have it crossable maybe even the same day. It's probably looking at about 2 days to get it all.
But your time frame to even doing that's probably like,
You got
March,
a
April.
week notice or better.
If I have, we'll make it happen.
Okay, let me ask you this, he hung up the phone, do you want me to have him go through me to you, or do you want to talk to him direct?
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever is, I think he was just upset because they wanted the culvert.
I'd rather have you two handle it.
Yeah, that would be probably the most streamlined. I mean, I'd have no problem with him.
You and him deal with it.
Okay. The only other question I had, he had a question about some school bus signs. We usually charge
You got to, because if we don't, we're gonna have Walt back up there for
well, I'll probably just charge him for, if he wants the signs, I'll just charge him for 2 new signs, give him 2 brand new signs and just treat it like that. Because I was wondering why if we give him,
We put him up or he puts him up.
he'll have to put them up, because it's on Township Road.
So I will lay him, 2 signs gonna cost him $80.
And then if he wants posts, that'll be extra,
Okay.
for the posts.
what kind of signs are there?
School bus.
Oh, okay.
School bus stop and head signs.
He claims there's 2 out there, and when they redid the road, they took them down.
Not in the same, in a different, he just wants the signs that we took down, which were our signs anyway, so. Okay. Alright, that's all I have.
I don't want to talk to him.
Is this the other side of the culvert, the one that's all, there's two, is that the opposite side of that one?
Yes, yeah. About, that's why I'm saying it's not gonna be hard to dig them out, because the road is like right here, and a lot of it's exposed.
Are you gonna have, is that gonna be a hump in the road? Because we didn't have a 6 foot.
I measured it,
Dig down a little bit.
actually, we won't have to dig down much, and 6 footer will fit in there pretty nice.
Let me hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have that email,
Yes.
I don't know if they're gonna set you up with a county email or.
They're gonna set me up with one, but I don't have it yet, but you can use, what I got now, is just, there's no, that Century.
Is he gonna be here next Tuesday,
URSC, and
a week from today?
Is he gonna, I don't know, is he gonna be here next
It's on my
Tuesday or?
phone.
I know you talked about,
At
Who's that?
Century
Mike.
Mine.
Because he was gonna be back in town on
Okay.
Thursday night and possibly meeting Friday. When I told him I didn't think we had enough, I was talking to him up today, and then he didn't draw out, sounded like neither of them was chance to one of the moms.
Do you have my own phone too, or you want that?
so,
Or
next
cell,
week,
probably-
he's
I got
gonna
your
be
cell
here
phone
next week.
number.
Okay, that's probably, I have it with me at all times.
I think this Friday coming up was, he could make.
But I don't think he's coming back now at all.
They'll probably set you with the county
You want
one,
me to
maybe.
email?
They talked
Find out
about
where
it,
the
but I
rest of
haven't
these are?
talked to anybody
Well,
actually.
when you get it set up,
After
just
that,
tell me which one you'd rather communicate through.
Well, I'm sure it'd be fine to use that one, so.
I know, like, Bill, he uses
You like it?
personal.
Cause I've had inquiries, I don't know if you have that on there.
I didn't know if that was, if I actually had to have the county one, or
We got just
Mr. Ramirez.
Yeah, no, Bill, he just does this through his personal account.
I'll
You
probably
need to
just
send
keep
a
that.
second request to him.
You want to print me something up, and I'll just give it to him,
Okay,
that's probably more proper.
so I'm gonna ask Matt,
What's up?
your annual report for Lancaster, I sent a notice, I sent the letter to Charlotte.
Okay. I'm sure we'll look at it at,
This coming
this
week.
month's meeting then.
Okay,
How many townships have you gotten back?
2. Kathy Omen Grasshopper.
I'm the trustee for Lancaster Township, by the way.
Oh, you are? Conflict of interest.
Well, before I ran for it, I came up and talked to the commissioners and got it
Oh, I'm
okay.
fine with it, I'm
Yeah.
gassing you.
I have to be careful on a few things, but
Yeah, I can see that, but
we haven't really had any problems yet, so I know. All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
thanks, man.
truck's supposed to be delivered next Wednesday, so,
So you want me to do that?
no, I don't.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be delivered next Sunday.
Next Wednesday.
Oh, next week.
So we need to give them the bank to get everything figured out so we can, if not, I'll have to call them and, cancel it, but
Is that what we do?
this will.
Huh?
Is that what we do first?
No,
I don't know.
yes, yes.
So,
I don't have to email back from you.
County government day. Okay, we go to Florida call. Is there any certain days?
Absolutely.
I haven't got with the courts yet.
Exactly.
You want it on a Tuesday, huh?
Who called it?
Hmm?
Who called it?
Leo Flooring, DSW.
Yeah, I said we have to
This
get.
is Atchison.
Yeah. Tuesday preferred because we'd be in session with that rotation of kids. What did we do last year? Was it April last year?
He said March
It was in March, last year, remember
March 18th, March
Yeah,
13th through the
yeah.
18th are all on spring break, so you can't really do it that time.
You said they're in spring break until,
I think you said they're all off, schools are on spring break, the 13th, no. That week after the March 3rd, that's Friday, I think.
so then you're looking at second to last week of, maybe the 24th.
Or the 1st of March.
Pushing up early.
That'd be kinda cool to see Eric swore in, but that's gonna be pushing it up
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. I don't know if it,
Remind me
Make
of
that
time,
set
do
up.
it every time.
So the last week of March.
March 31st would be, what's the last day of March, would that be on a Tuesday?
I will call, I'll talk to Donna.
Then the following, then the next week would be the 7th of April.
That's election.
So,
Which it shouldn't, I mean, it's not a big election, so.
We'll do the same.
Huh?
We'll do the same.
Three seventy-seven. Got you.
yeah, so it was about, asking for about 31st of March.
31st, okay.
A month, and then maybe back in April 14th, be the next day after that.
Okay.
How do you go do it?
Where,
$3,000.
they can leave it in there and then revert to something else. Mocan Development. We said in the board, discussions with City of Ashton also is on that board as well. You know, representatives from Ashton County and City of Ashton on Mocan Regional.
Mocan Regional Council?
Yeah, Mocan Regional Council. Talking with City of Ashton, they were working on a couple projects that did not come to fruition. We questioned the validity of Mocan Development as well as Donovan County has. I think we probably need to draft a letter that we are withholding funding from in 2015.
Will invite them to come talk, or just simply inform them?
I think we can submit for them. I'll probably be at the next meeting. If we need that in the minutes, I'll make a motion to do that. Wait a second.
A second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
What exactly was the motion?
Oh, to pull the funding?
The whole funding
Okay.
in 2015.
And for the reason that,
Lack of performance.
Yeah, like performance.
Michael, what?
Performance.
Michael performance.
We had, she's no longer there, but Stephanie Lee, who sits on that board, she had investigated and checked in, seeing if it affected any businesses. Businesses can still apply for small business loans, it doesn't affect anybody on that perspective, but, and talking with other counties, like Donovan County, I think that they're looking into it as well. I know Leavenworth and the ones in South are in March. They had suggested we talk with them, if we want to continue something further on, but
So the $3,000, is it 3,000?
Yes.
No, okay.
yeah, I haven't gotten, is it on here, or I didn't see it?
It's on the list, under economic development.
Yeah, it's on the list, I didn't see the actual
No,
appropriation.
they're not, I don't have those done yet.
Okay.
we need to make a motion to apply that $3,000.
Not yet.
Okay.
You have a handful in here, I think, let's see, there's a handful of the disbursements.
Those are the, yeah, those are the
distributions.
levy ones. They're gonna have time to.
Kansas Ag, have we always had a Kansas Ag Day? There's this packet talks about Department of Ag. It's talking about March 18th is Kansas Ag Day, and then the month of March is Kansas Ag Month. It's talking about
We've never had it.
drafting a proclamation to celebrate. As I said, like, I don't remember that. About hosting local events. Let me go. Talks about hosting local events, either that day or,
I wonder if you could do it with the Farm City benefit, or the Farm City that day.
yeah, that's a thought. It gave a bunch of suggestions how to do it, but I'd never seen that one before.
It's the first time I think we've ever done it.
You'd think if it were a first, they'd try to give you some advice on.
It's like 5 or 6 pages thick, so I mean, maybe suggestions, and I think they would probably give us maybe some sort of help too.
Basically, a food drive, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like that was one of the suggestions on how to celebrate it. We ever done any microloan grants? Have we ever done any microloan grants with CDBG? Kansas Department of Commerce, we ever done those?
No, I don't think micro, we've done elevator, those.
It says microloan grants available in Lake County, so. Up to $2 million.
That's micro.
That's
It must be, aren't micro small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it refers to interest rate. Pretty good grants going on.
Well, spring's around the corner, are we gonna do anything with the nuisance ordinance? It's a 2-year thing, we've been talking. Don't know where that goes.
Well, we filed a couple. That probably has been 2 years ago. Yeah, it's probably not.
It's a couple properties south of town are looking pretty bad.
We're talking about some of the combines on the roadside, junk cars, just trash, old RV motorhomes.
So where's our bottleneck at? I mean, where is it?
In the small street.
Well, it was, yeah, I mean, it was, trying to work with the people that get in voluntary compliance. I hadn't talked to Dennis about it in a while, but a fairly long time. We have communicated with all of the landowners. Nevertheless, I guarantee they'll all show up and say, gosh, it's the first I ever heard.
Well, like I told you about 2 months ago, I heard one of them just laughing at us because we did this and we did nothing about it, and they just continued to keep right on doing what they're doing.
Yeah, there's one on the entrance corridor that has gotten a lot worse. Most of them are much better than they were. There's definitely one that's a bunch worse than it was.
Are we talking mainly in the city or
No.
Countywide.
No.
countywide?
One out west of town, there's a couple places, up Goodington area, there's
Mm.
2 or 3 places, south of town, out in the country.
They explicitly cannot be in a city. They have to be outside of that.
Okay, so it's probably figured, but, now, does this have to be on long county roads, or can this just be
Now, it's
anywhere?
Willie County wide.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a copy of, yeah. Yeah, we have a copy. Do you have a copy or electronic copy? We can email
Is it
him.
on the website? Nuisance resolution?
Should be on that website.
Definition?
Yeah, nuisance ordinance.
I could call that up, I'm at home there, but
Yeah, it
You mean
should,
the resolution on the nuisance?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's on the website.
it's on the website, okay. And you say it's under sanitation?
No.
You'll probably put it under resolutions, won't you?
Under resolutions, okay.
Yeah, he was inquiring more about extension district. I told him to check with his counselor, Leavenworth County counselor. I don't know if he's had correspondence with Pat.
Since our meeting?
Yeah, Bob Holland inquired, and I said, well, looking at the statute, it's pretty, I did look that up, and it was pretty explicit about an operating agreement that set the tax levies.
Yeah, and there's an Attorney General's opinion on that as well, that concludes the same thing, that the operating agreement can set a maximum mill levy for them. I would like to see a little more information, because it sounded like they had it there. All of those districts had higher mill levies than we had. It looks like our mill levy was similar to what
Yeah.
Leavenworth was.
That's all relative, maybe a higher valuation than a little mill levy.
Now, most of them were smaller
Yeah,
counties that,
that's what we would have with Leavenworth.
of course, I have no idea what Fairfield County's valuation is.
I mean, it's probably online somewhere, but.
It definitely is, and research could be done. I think that probably the people trying to sell us the extension council have done research about
Mhm.
the,
There was a, Saline County there's a district of Saline County that might be the closest pure-sized we could find. Because I think Salina is very similar size to Leavenworth, I believe. Oh, I'm not signing off on it, that was just a letter, right? Okay. No, I didn't sign off on it, I just. How was that resolution done, in 2011? That nuisance? It was more recent than that, wasn't it?
well, 2011 is when we adopted, is there when we adopted the code,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm asking
the
you. is that-
resolution. We don't have to file one every time we.
No, it was 1335, but it must have been prior to when we did the year with the resolution. March of 2011?
Couldn't tell you.
The 13 or 18 property shows you more than that. That'd be two of them like that,
Well,
sent letters.
if I have the list up here,
I think it's resolution 1335.
that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
I can look it up.
It came up right at the top, so I'm assuming that's it. Doesn't apply to any city within Ashland County. Okay. Yeah, it's 1335 resolution number. Should be on our website. You should be able to go into, e-services tab, and then click on document center. You should be able to search Ashland County resolutions.
Okay.
It's like 17.
17.
That's the tear down list they're having for.
And so we can't proceed without something from Dennis, or just?
Well, somebody needs to sign complaints and somebody needs to be the witness. So I'll talk with him, make a point to call him. I can't testify, I can't show up and say, here's pictures, we have to have somebody that testifies about whatever they've done.
What did we do before? Did we have like a few properties in the first go around?
We had, probably 4 or 5, and all but 2 got cleaned up adequately, and then afterwards, one of them did, and the other one didn't.
On another matter, didn't we have a timeline to go out in the community and clean up something versus paying that fine?
Yeah,
That should be, we need to address that too.
we have been,
Okay.
Chase and I, in fact, even the past week, been in touch with, Department of Health and Environment. We've had several people from Tyler there, people, talk to her all the time.
What's this?
You know, we got fined because, somebody burnt some trash or did something.
Oh.
And we had a choice of paying the fine or cleaning up some, equal value, and that's a no-brainer, why give it to them, let's go out and clean some of our problems up. I thought we had time.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like that. I think we're stuck 2 o'clock with judges as well, so
Was Peggy here?
Phyllis, he came up, I think he was not here.
She's out of town yet, vacation. It was a PO for some curtains of $6,512.84 or something in that area.
Blinds, actually.
Yeah, blinds.
Well, that would be what one of the trusts will pay for, quality of life improvements.
Well, so that'll be Vanderburg.
That'd be Denver, yeah.
Well, we did instructor work like that, it would take about next time.
Well, I think it comes, I believe the trust, did they, if they, use some funding out of the, if, they usually take stuff directly out of the trust, they keep the trust in a separate fund, or they just, Vanderbilt Trust,
over to us?
yeah.
Oh.
I think these are requested from the trust, and the trust reimburses back Cedar Village, if I remember right.
That's what Phyllis was requesting was. for
Yeah,
the
a
bond.
purchase order for blinds.
Okay.
They had a couple of, trusts. They're designated to senior village. One of them is really quality of life, for residents. The other one is like towards, nurses' salaries, is what the other one is. So, my guess is they're probably purchase that and request it back from that, that trust to reimburse them for quality, I would assume.
I was gonna ask you, have you heard any complaints about the Effingham landfill? Transfer station?
No, I mean, as far as service or anything?
Yeah.
No. The only thing regarding that was when they were talking about closing it down, there was a lot of people talking about it, but no, not on service.
I have called out one for our into it. I think West End office and things improved.
You Chase.
Or Chase, I mean, I'm sorry, Chase, yeah.
Go ahead and keep that packet on the, Kansas Ag Day. There's some stuff in there that they were looking across the state.
You look at?
Yeah, why don't you look at that?
I mean, there's a few, I might just put one on.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Is it
go ahead.
something?
Yeah. And then, you give that to us, do we need to do it?
I think it was, when was it, March? I think it was in March, so.
March, so wait until March to do tap on that, okay. Just wait until March. Pat, do you have anything for us?
No.
Pat, we've had a question from some employees on those biometric screenings. If they're on the job and they're scheduled for a biometric screen, they're being told, some people are being told to clock out and some people are not. I assume if you're at work, must be concerning individuals that are at work.
Well, there's definitely a gray area. They're not required to do it on the condition of their employment.
Correct.
So, I guess it'd be up to each department head.
If you do each department head, then I think you run into,
Then you run into inconsistency, then you run into complaining.
so then you send out like a notice, or have Colleen send out an email.
If that's what you want to do, you should go and check the truck. They're not working. And you're going,
Well, the biometric screening is set for only so many, as you found out, there's only so many time slots that people can come in. I mean, I guess that's just kind of the question. I know how we handled it in the past, I don't really see any issue in the past.
I personally think it's necessary to have a clock out and then a clock back in.
Is anybody going to use their sick time still?
No, there's just a requirement that some people were being told that they had to clock out to go to the biometric screening, they were on the job.
you know, which departments were being told that?
I don't want the department to senior village.
I don't under, because one of the rooms is up there, so they're right there at the,
Outside.
Yeah. That's what the question was, I believe.
how did she handle it last year?
I don't know how she handled it.
I don't know, I never come up before.
Nope. Maybe she did last year, I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of time slots outside of your normal shift.
You know, ours are like 9 o'clock until.
Well, I'd
I
say,
just didn't pay
Yeah,
that
it doesn't-
much. I mean, I wasn't gonna have her.
And they're at 7, they're from 7 until,
But those people are, if they're on duty, they're there, so it's not like they're not.
I could see where if you didn't have time slot, if somebody lined up at 7 and go back to work at 11, but if you got a time slot, you're talking about 10, 15 minutes and then you're back to work. I say just,
I could see it's different if you have to leave up there to come down here for time slot or something. It's just.
you shouldn't have to walk.
that's what I would think. I mean, it sounds.
I'm not sworn in yet. I'm gonna have to make a decision.
Yeah. I just don't remember there being an issue.
You can get on there.
She's not here.
Watch her out.
I don't think it's her at the time.
I said, look out the window. It's supposed to be at 9 o'clock. What's your opinion? I don't think they should have to clock out. Do you?
I wouldn't think so. Not if they're on the job and right here.
No, it's getting pretty.
But I wasn't gonna pay her if she went at 7, I think they had an opening for 7 something tomorrow morning, but. Huh?
Yeah, and if you have some people do it while they're on the clock, or they just happen to be working, the people that scheduled to come an hour before their shift, so that they wouldn't do that, or going to be upset. You can't make everybody happy.
Are you the only one here?
Everyone else are ready.
Oh, there's Eric, there's our new commissioner.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Shauna Otto,
Yeah, I know.
Greg's sister, and.
Yes,
Last time I remember you, you were a little squirt.
Are you
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, I remember you.
This is the new commissioner.
Maybe the best years ago.
Glad to meet you.
Hi, Mark Asher. You bet.
I slid down, so you on the phone.
Did you,
Hey, Mike.
Jack, we were just discussing, you're not gonna have your guys clock out, get your biometric screen on it.
they can't use the county system, we take that out like we do.
They're not our employees.
We have to do
I'm
it.
talking to Jack.
Oh, Jack, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking
I just
to
stuck
Jack.
it behind you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know who's all signed up for it, to be honest with you, so I don't know how they're doing, but, no, we probably wouldn't. If it's here, they'd probably just come up and do it.
You know, double check, make sure everybody's aware of it, and if they're gonna do it, they do it, because I think it pays $100. Pat thought it was more than that, but I think it's $100.
200.
Jamie sent out reminders.
For your HSA.
Yeah, those four pages, sorry. It cost them nothing. It's 2 o'clock.
Judge Bedger and Judge Asher, you were listed on the agenda, so.
Nope, are you ready?
Come forward, yeah.
Oh, okay. We kind of want to talk to you about IT a little bit. We just started e-filing, just started in January. I think we've had maybe, 10 cases e-filed or something like
Somewhere
that.
between 7 and 10.
Okay,
And that we just started receiving last week, really.
okay.
And we kind of wanted to see what your reaction would be to, if we were to approach Leavenworth about seeing if they would be willing to assist us. Because Leavenworth has kind of been a pilot project for this throughout the state. So they're about a year and a half to 2 years ahead. They've been doing this already.
It's their third year that they've actually been implementing it.
And so they would have people, basically they have IT people who are dedicated to the court, who are very familiar with full court, who are very familiar with e-filing. You know, it would seem natural rather than trying to bring Wes and Josh up to speed, because I know they're not, they try to cover it, but they're really not, again, it's kind of a specialized program that they uses full court, and.
I've heard about it, never used it or
The
seen it.
Leavenworth people, like I say, they actually have one guy on staff, Roger Mars, who kind of writes some of the software for it. So, they're way ahead. And so, we thought we'd see what your reaction would be if we could approach them about maybe getting them to assist us. Because we anticipate this is going to be kind of tough implementing and getting up to speed and getting going.
Do you know, as far as Leavenworth County, have you talked with them a whole lot to see what, have you approached them?
No, we wanted to talk to you first to see
Okay.
if you had any qualms about us doing that, kind of what your feeling was about it before we said anything. We have not said anything to them.
We don't even know if they would consider it.
Yeah.
Judge King, we did talk to him, who's the chief judge of the district, and he indicated he thought they would sit down and talk to us and listen to us, and, that type of thing.
Okay.
Have you talked to Wes to get his take on it?
No, so you're the first one to get it.
Okay.
It makes sense. They've been in that long, but I don't know if it's something that Wes could go down there and.
Well, they've already started into it, I think they're probably wanting support as soon as possible, I would assume.
We know the problem also that, we can't expect Wes just to drop everything he's doing every time we turn around. And that's kind of where we're stuck, that we have, with these people, we'd be able to call them because that's all we're doing. To get, if in fact they'll help us, because that's their dedication at this point in time.
Sure.
Part of what we do has to do with deadlines too, and kind of dealing with what Better said. If Wes and Josh can't get to us for a day, well, that means if I can't file something for a day, and maybe there's a deadline, they need to file something. Like I say, other problems that just, we haven't ran into up until now, that maybe we can't anticipate we might kind of start to see.
Do you have any idea what it costs?
No, like I say, that's, without talking to them, we have no idea.
Yeah, okay, we didn't even think it was proper to go talk to them until we talked to you all. Make sure that there wasn't any problem from your perspective, and, there's no commitments, there's no asking,
Sure.
This is just a preliminary stage of discussing it with them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with discussing with Leavenworth. We've talked with several of them in the past, so I don't see why there would be any aversion to at least
I'd like to
talking with them.
find out the cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I'll give you my opinion, I've been trying to think of more things for IT to do, because we have 2 full-time IT persons, but this might be something that we could maybe have 1 full-time.
But again, it's one of those things, if you don't have any objection, we just talk to them and be able to report back to you what we find, whether it's
I'm fine with that.
reasonable or unreasonable.
Yeah, that doesn't be a problem.
So they may not be willing to do it, quite honestly.
Yeah. I don't know what they're.
Okay, let me ask you this, what if they say no?
Well, then Wes and Josh are doing a great job, and we'll continue to hopefully they can get up to speed on what we need and.
Yeah, what we might do if they refuse is to ask whether we can have some training.
Yeah.
If they refuse to ask if we can have more people come down there and try to be trained in some fashion, you know, that they've had the 3 years head start, and, go from there.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's probably more than fair.
Okay.
I think that would work very well.
Right. We'll inquire and let you know what we,
I had also thought that might be a worthy topic for our bar to have a CLE on.
Absolutely.
Bar trained, but I don't know who.
I don't-
If Roger's one of the people, I would think he'd be natural to come do that.
Yeah, a lot of what he's been doing is really for law enforcement and for the judges, because he's been involved in, you know, the bench warrants, things of that nature, making sure that that works. He was at the county attorney's office, but he's been writing some of the programs now. He's not with them now, he's with another department in Leavenworth, because he does more than, just a judicial center as far as that, but,
Do you know if the district court, do you know if the state's offered, like, training to IT personnel, or?
For IT personnel, what they've offered us is a website that you can watch, basically 6 short videos that total about 30 minutes. But again, you know,
No on-site, basically no on-site, or regional training.
well, we've got, you know, there is an hour-long training that they're doing 3 sessions on. You know, we've got one coming up that you have to sign up for, that type of thing.
the whole thing's a little more complicated because of the budget issues and that, they started the program about 3 years ago. Leavenworth and maybe 3 or 4 other counties were pilot programs.
Leavenworth, Douglas, Sedgwick has their own, they've written their entire own program. They're a little bit different.
So last November, they decreed that of those pilot programs, if any of the districts had other counties, that they were now gonna bring the other counties online, so that's how we
Yeah.
are the next.
But basically, we received an email, like on Friday, saying, get ready Monday, you're ready to go. And there hasn't been much training, there's been,
I don't think any of the local attorneys are using it yet.
And the intro you need first.
I mean, we've had several out of town since.
Robert Campbell, he started to file, he went through the training, you know, online. On that, but, yeah, they pretty much have just said, it's kind of in hurry-up mode. You know, here it is, you figure out what to do with it.
And part of the funds that they're going to use to implement this, they are using now just to cover the budget shortfall, so I think if you're not already a county who's starting it, you may have to wait for, which means probably the support staff and everything else is not.
From the counties, that's where
Yeah.
that's where the funding's coming from, too.
Like the district that covers Donovan and Brown, they're not doing it at this time. And it's a money issue.
Can I ask a question, Judge?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that is integrated with the law enforcement agencies to submit stuff to the county attorney as well, or is that?
Yes. Leavenworth has a very integrated system. I mean, like I say, Leavenworth is one of the leading ones in the state that, I know their county attorney, their, you know, the law enforcement are using it, the reports that are submitted, the judges can do search warrants, stuff online, you know, that sort of thing.
But I know the one issue, I mean, it's not an issue for us, we walk across the hall and hand the reports to Jerry, but, you know, with PD having to bring their stuff up, or like warrants and PFAs, things like that, if they could all be digital, it would make things a lot easier on us.
Sure, but down in Leavenworth, it's almost paperless.
Yeah.
You know, the county attorney's bringing a laptop computer to the courtroom. I know the judge has access to one. But they are really working hard to make it paperless.
We share their traffic court down there, and the attorney doing that doesn't even bring files anymore, he just brings his laptop.
Which includes, you know, the documentation like the search warrants, things of that nature, that they're shifting back and forth between the sheriff's office.
Interesting.
Now, we're talking mainly about training and not hardware, or I mean?
No, not hardware, I
Okay.
mean more along the training,
Implementation.
tweaking, maybe programs.
The hardware's already
Okay. you've got
installed, I
that.
mean, it's our basic computers.
Mhm.
or a laptop, whatever you're using, and that's been in existence. Sure, it gets updated from time to time, but it's not part of the IT question. The IT questions are strictly, not even training. It's, if it's not working properly, how can we get it back up working properly? And that's the real issue.
And how long is it gonna take, and how soon can you do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm at all talking on the phone. I mean, it'd be nice if they could, that, you know, you might be surprised what they would, you know, be willing to do as far as training or
You know, I think that
support.
they would be receptive, especially if they do not have to travel. You know, if like fix and repair can be done remotely. And since it can be done from Speakon now from time to time, some of the issues, we think it can be done remotely, but again, that's something we have to talk to them about.
Okay.
Well, there certainly are people driving back and forth between Leavenworth.
Right, we go every week, Judge Asher and I. One of us goes on Wednesday, we do the traffic docket down in Leavenworth, Kansas, and so.
We've got Sundays doing it every day, I'm going twice a week or 3 times a week, so.
Yeah. How long do you have to do it?
I don't know.
Laura Key,
Yeah.
she goes every day. All right, well, we'll get back to you though.
Right.
Yeah, if you report back to us.
Will do.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you have some time, I'm sure set up an appointment to come up with this.
Will you be up there?
And, we've got our, not our laptops, the notebooks, and we can start talking to you about saving steps, with the warrants and stuff. So whenever you get free,
I'll do it.
you just give us a
All right, I'll probably bring Larry or Jeremy or somebody else too. Thank you.
That's one place I plan, I would say it's a plan properly. Not what I thought before we got.
So then you'll get with the local sheriff to see what they're doing and get up to speed as well, or?
Yeah, I know, I've talked to them a few times, not necessarily about that, but they have, with their whole system, we don't use the same software as they do for reports, but I always have to ask, I would assume that there's somebody using our software that's submitting stuff electronically. I mean, we submit everything to the state electronically now, so as far as offense reports and arrest reports, but that's only statistics, not documents.
You know, I don't know why they couldn't submit those, just send an email to the county attorney's office, the only original document. I mean, everything we get is a copy, except maybe is the affidavit the original?
We have to sign it, but I'm sure we could do a digital signature, I would think, but
I would think so too.
it's just a Microsoft Word document, so.
Gary's not,
That's gonna be our holdup.
Technology, but, scanning and emailing and opening the email are certainly using that. And on the unusual case where it's a big rush and you need to talk to it, we can still walk. You're gonna be talking to it about those cases anyway.
It's pretty amazing how the state still, as much as they mail every day. I mean, we get, not only do we get an email about something, we'll get it in the mail as well, and there's just a lot of cost in there, I think, but I think it's awful lot, some of those things they send, no matter what it is. I think that it would be nice, though, if that does happen, though, that one of those two learns it. I mean, so we would have somebody locally that would learn it, in the future, still be able to maintain it,
I think our two guys are probably gonna pick it up real quick.
Yeah.
That's I'd be curious. I bet they would probably do something where they could just shadow Leavenworth County, do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, I would like to see our two IT people pick it up.
At least one of them, yeah. Roger Barnes was a prosecutor, and then started doing half IT, half prosecution, so he definitely was the.
Well, it's not like we're necessarily behind the times. This is something that's still fairly new, it sounds like. It
Yeah.
sounds like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like really within the last you know, if only the 4 main counties or whatever the districts are leading, it's not like we're necessarily way behind in fact, we're just
Right.
trying to,
No, you would have, I would think that if you're in the same judicial district, why didn't they ask both of us to do it, not just Leavenworth? I mean, especially when we're smaller and wouldn't have as much going on, but, I know.
Well, it wasn't over 2 months ago that we was discussing maybe doing something with the city to help justify our IT, and to me, I don't know what's their IT numbers. I mean, sure, maybe get a jump start on Leavenworth, but get our IT trained where they can do it, because with all that services that come to us.
Oh, yeah. I know Leavenworth's currently working with who we use for commissary stuff in the jail, but their IT people are creating them a database or a CAD system for their dispatch center now. Basically did away with the one they were doing, and they've customized this for them, and seemed to work well with their reports management system. So I mean they've got a lot more funding to do stuff like that, I imagine. So, but it was being for both PD and sheriff, and I guess the PD got tired of waiting, they went a different direction, so.
It don't cost nothing to ask.
yeah, I thought that might be a good discussion about the small courtroom spaces, what I assumed, I guess. So, probably need to have some further discussions with them on that. One question that has, you know, that I think has come up a little bit, so joint communications. So, joint communications board wanted to look into possibly moving joint communications up to this room.
Correct.
And that would be because of needing space, or what?
There's a couple different things, numerous, but one, yes, especially with what really brought it on was obviously the new radio system, and when they came in and they were looking, they were, there's a lot of like, well, we can make it work, but there's just not enough space to like pull that whole desk out, and work behind it, or even clean the machines the way they're supposed to be, and there's wires galore. I mean, it's a fireman's nightmare probably, but that's one reason that sparked it. But there's numerous reasons. That one is I kind of have an issue of it, as all my people have to go in and out of that area, and if that's joint communications, which is not under me. Like when John was here, John was getting paid to be the director, so I don't have any say necessarily, direct say over anything that goes on in that room. And if my people have to be in that room, I do have a little bit of an issue with that. For one, or that's another reason. Two, the capabilities of expanding if we have to, and after we spend all this money putting in a new radio system, put it in down there, we would never be able to expand. We have, for a couple different reasons. Two, the HVAC system is one, and two, there's just no area down there. HVAC systems, with that door opening in the rec room down there during the summer, completely heats that whole communication center. Just like humidity and everything. And the cold time of the year is the same thing. And you have to keep those machines, obviously, maintained at a decent temperature, and it does nothing but play catch up, and that plays a toll on the system up on the road, continuously running and needing stuff like that. We have changed the hours of, during the summer we changed the hours of rec time, but we have to give them daylight, so it has to be sometime when there's daylight. they like fresh air. And that really affects it.
So having that area open down, or that's heating up the entire system? Heating up that entire room?
It's because, from the way it's been explained to me, is that the return air is not ducted, it's in the drop ceiling. I don't know anything about HVAC, but they, when you open those doors, when it's 100 degrees out, it gets hot in there. I mean, sweating hot. And continuously, then you have to run, a portable air conditioner for the equipment in the back room. Up here.
Is there any requirement for the space that they're in to be tornado safe?
No, not necessarily. Not that I know of. I mean, I know that we're just required to provide a dispatch center.
Well, I know Leavenworth and Johnson County were the only other ones I've seen. No, I've seen Nemaw, and it's not, it's just, a room. But they're both underground. In the basement, I should say. Bunkers or anything.
What would where they are currently at, then what would that area be designated as after that?
Well, we would utilize it for the jail, for sure, because we don't have adequate space right now to store anything anywhere. There's really no storage put in it anywhere here, so we got stuff that's outside that shouldn't be outside, probably in the garage, and we need the garage space to be able to pull vehicles in when we're bringing inmates in.
Two vacant, places at the Aquarium, is that feasible, or is that possible to take some of that down there?
Do what?
We have two, rental places now, with nothing in them, as I'm aware.
No, this is stuff that we use on, in any given day.
I see.
And so you can't utilize anything in that space with deputies at all?
No, there's too much commotion for that. Because jail staff in and out, and then there's a big window there overlooks Seapond, and that's it would be more used for the jail space than anything.
I'll tell you where we was kind of kicking around, and it sounds like we ought to be in favor of it. We was thinking about moving you up here, and we gotta find a place to go, and we'll hustle with that. And then maybe move juvenile correction in that space, the same as that,
Can't have juvenile corrections in the same place as an adult correctional facility. It's like,
Well, we just have to have sight and see on,
they supervise both,
division. What's that?
but they supervise both,
Who supervises that?
community corrections.
I guess I don't understand.
How would you separate them coming up the stairs?
Who has to be separated? The juvenile that's in custody?
Community corrections.
The juvenile that's in custody, you mean, would have to be separated from an adult that's reporting for probation?
Yeah, but as far as I know, that's up their alley.
Yeah, you could be right. I thought the site, I'm trying to think, I guess it bears some discussion or some research, but I thought that had to do with inmates. It could be inside or sound of inmates, but, I don't know whether a probationer would count.
I'd sooner keep you guys up here than have community corrections up here. That'd be a pain. It's just taking away way too much from the sheriff's office.
So, we're gonna check that, we'll check that.
I can check that part out, yeah.
It sounds reasonable.
I guess.
Then you would also get back to the HVAC system too, if you have juveniles there, is that what I'm taking, then you just want to put the juveniles into that
No, that'd be.
Move the community corrections
Community
center.
corrections from the old state.
Okay, yeah,
I guess the heating and cooling would be a problem for them though as well.
You mean putting them in that area?
No, not in that area.
Up here?
No, not this, well, I mean, originally, there was a thought of possibly doing that up here, but at one time.
I don't think this is enough space. I don't know if it would be downstairs or not. Yeah,
Hmm?
4 officers,
I'm sorry?
how many officers do they have? Plus.
Community corrections?
Yeah, they have 4 officers and 2 staff.
Yeah.
I think so.
Could be enough room.
Not an easy answer, yeah.
No.
One step forward, 2 steps back. We just outrode the percent.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an easy answer on this space and setting up. Utilizing that small courtroom would be nice just for the fact that it's in the actual courthouse area. I think it's probably more easily accessible than over here personally, but.
Yeah, this is a challenge, and it's hard to take you can take an elevator here, but it's cumbersome. You have to have permission from them.
One is the new joint communication system, when are you planning on implementing that?
As early as July, as late as November. I mean, as far as up and running. And, you know, I don't know, the way I kind of look at moving it up here with the allotted space we have down there, we're gonna be running on basically one desk, you know, one desk set, or that's what we're gonna call it, one dispatcher during installation and training, and it's definitely possible. I mean, they said it, yeah, we can do it. It's definitely possible to put it in there, but I hate to have it all installed in there and then a little later down the road, we go, man, but we should have done it when we installed it, you know. When you're not directly supervising employees that are in your building, it makes it difficult, in my eyes, to designate what they can and can't do, you know, and using jail staff, using their bathroom, I mean, sometimes can be a little inappropriate, you know. I think that's, you know, another issue with it, but the in and out, we're in and out of that thing very often throughout the day, all day long. And it's a lot of disruption if we're in there doing training plus dispatching at the same time. It'll be difficult to do, but I mean, we can do it. I mean, it's just while we're doing it, and get it done and do it right, you know, this time. But it is what it is.
Well, I think probably one of the issues I think is using that small courtroom, I think. If there's a jury trial that came about, you know, we would have to have an alternate spot to utilize for that. I mean, it's a logistical challenge to go, I think, off-site. I don't think that's I don't know if that's necessarily a feasible
There's one,
solution right now.
there's one event scheduled in the small courtroom on a Tuesday, which is at 9 a.m. on the 24th of this month, for the next 3 months.
How much room do you need? What if we put a wall from that window on those pillars and then open that up? We take this desk and move it this way, we'd probably have enough room here for the commission room, and that'd be a little bit crowded. Is that feasible? Is that enough room for you?
Can't use the bathroom.
That's true.
It'll make this place not handicap accessible.
That's true.
You have that through there.
I'm not trying to tell you guys where to conduct your business, but I mean, are you?
You got a pretty good sized room for one deal.
I mean, I think there's a lot of options, obviously off-site, and I don't know if that's an option or not, but, you know,
I know Pat, he said something about the conference center, I can't foresee that working. It's too far from here.
I think it detaches, because it is, when you have meetings, having department heads come up, I mean, it is on site. The downstairs, that's secured, that's down below here, if you're gonna take out some of that stuff over joint communications, I assume you're gonna move over some people from that side, deputies or somebody over in that.
I'm only gonna be bringing one over and I'm adding two into the other room. So Jeremy will come out of the deputy's room and come over to our hallway. And then the, Travis will move over into the jail along with Amber and Charles. And we'll have
Who did you say you'd move over?
Jeremy, which he's in with the deputies currently.
So they say, like, can you turn in, on that one side, it seems like it's pretty easy, but like, turn it more into a conference, like a small conference meeting room or something like that, that would make it more feasible as an alternative for us. And you guys wouldn't have the space, because this is gonna be reconfigured and cut out, if you have.
I don't, are you talking where the deputies are in right now?
Yeah, deputy, you got Larry, you got, space that's really not used, and then you've got the deputies, I'm just asking if.
But, I mean, our interview rooms are over there and our juvenile holdings in there, on that hallway.
No, the other side, I'm not talking about the other side.
Well, we can't have people coming in and out if we have juvenile in that room. I mean, that's technically not supposed to have anybody except law enforcement. But that's why, I mean, there's definitely an issue if you have public coming in through there. Plus, we're interviewing somebody in the interview room. That's not a good thing.
Just possibly expand on that, could I have the hallway be secured for the law enforcement, a door put in the west end, if that was one long room, where you're talking about where Larry's at, and that would be accessible from the west end without going down the hallway.
It's not a very big room.
You see what I'm saying? Instead of, we wouldn't share a hallway then, if that's the catch.
Well, the west, on that end, there's a stairway that goes down there. You can't do it on this side either, but that's where the stairway goes downstairs is. It's on that wall.
It's all right west of Larry, right on where Larry's office was.
Right, if you just went beyond that wall, that's where the staircase going downstairs is. Well, going up here.
That's, yeah, just all staircase.
Like I said before, the central solution is to go back down where the motor vehicle is and find an intersection. That's the simplest solution. Commissioner room down there. They've been down there for how many years?
Oh, the driver's license?
Been down there a long time.
And they could be off-site easier than we could,
They won't,
and they have been, you know.
they won't give us or they won't even allow the office to be here, from what I understand, if we don't provide them the space. That's what I heard.
That was my only fear, was to shut it down or move it. I don't know what they would do.
Because we provide them assistance or something, right, with personnel?
One day,
Security?
just one day. You mean driver's license?
Yeah.
They, treasurer's got one day, Tuesday.
No, it's just nothing.
Would there be enough room down there where Michelle is, and move Michelle and Shannon Murphy someplace? I think her name's Michelle.
Shannon.
Shannon? No.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle.
For the driver's license room? Oh, yeah, it'd be plenty big for the driver's license. They don't need anything that big, I mean.
I mean, occupied, it's not a very big room. I would think, but I mean,
It's only allows one in at a time anyway.
Be a whole lot more secure than people standing out in the hallway when there's something.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what we gotta look at, guys, we gotta look at special.
Motor vehicle.
I mean, as far as that courtroom, I mean, it's utilized for attorneys to talk to their clients. Tuesday afternoons aren't a busy day there. It's just not. Tuesdays in general. But I
Yeah,
don't.
we were only talking like basically a couple of hours in the morning and then a few hours in the afternoon one day a week. I mean, how much stuff's going on in the district, like in the big courtroom on Tuesdays? Even if clients are meeting with attorneys,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the counter that I've heard, is that attorneys need to meet with their clients, but they would still be able to do that, wouldn't they, during
There's only one
the
event.
rest of the week?
Two different days. They have scheduled events in the large courtroom for the next 3 months. The 7th of April and the 3rd of March. Both of those are at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm not saying that there isn't ever a heavy docket on the Tuesday morning. I mean,
Well, I don't think there's ever a heavy docket, but if they do prelims and jury trials on Tuesdays. And occasionally there are two things that are said, but it's occasional.
We have to go with the solution fairly soon,
The
otherwise.
treasurer's break room is smaller than Michelle's room, isn't it, by far?
oh yeah.
So that would be there. And I don't know how it'd be with Michelle room, Jim's office.
Michelle could stay where she's at and just put the driver's license back in Jim's office.
But Jim, of course, he's
Well,
like-
they have to walk through her office when they get there.
You put a doorway.
Room's pretty crowded.
Is there anything to utilize in the basement? I'm not familiar with the basement at all.
There's a really big, there's a men's restroom down there that's really big, but it doesn't need to be nearly that big, but that, it's probably pretty expensive
To renovate that
to renovate it, yeah.
and it's inaccessible to the public, and when it's like if he's gonna put Michelle down there, that,
All that space is broken up, 'cause you got office, you got vault, you got bathroom,
Custodian room.
you see where we're at, I mean, we have to come up with alternative solutions in order to make
Oh,
any of this, to try and,
I don't disagree. I understand where you're at.
and let there come with something fairly soon, because
Yeah, 'cause we're pretty well on time crunch as far as make sure we get the you know, proper equipment changes are made before we make.
We did receive a letter last week from, Judge Bednar and Judge Asher, requesting that we not utilize that, use that court. So, Roger Denton was looking at drawing up some different designs or different layouts. Yeah. Possibly with that space. It'd be nice to get into sort of agreement before, that would be better to come to an agreement before deciding we need the space. Very good.
There's a little space right out there.
But
They
you
did
can't,
this, I don't know why they didn't attach this.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know why they didn't attach it.
Be straight across to the second floor.
I don't think it's straight across to the landing,
Or a stairway.
to the landing there.
mhm.
There's an office over there, there's two offices.
No, that's Judge Bedner's office, over there, that's the clerk's office.
No, his is in the corner.
That's,
Right.
Oh, that's where
There's one over
zoning,
here,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
that's where zoning, that's where their
Yeah.
attorney.
Okay, we would like it back downstairs, but they're crying out.
I have to look at that space.
Cause he's doing what, 2 days a week, 1 day a week?
Two.
What is it?
Fraser's office.
Moving Lanky back downstairs.
I mean, it would make sense if you could have all your staff on one office. Right now, our appraisers are split between basement and first floor.
Is there a split between the, is that Lampy's office down there and the bathroom? Is there a vault in there, or does that go clear to the men's room if we've got to?
Well, there's at least one, is there two?
Well,
Okay, that don't
where
run
got
like three,
all-
right?
They got the electrical in that one.
Yeah.
Is that on, that's on the same side as?
Correct.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, if that would run up to the bathroom, the guy could open up part of that men's room and give him more room, but if it's split, there's no way of doing that.
Well, you could take the
No,
bathroom
but I
down there,
think
the
that would-
bathroom down there and the appraiser's office.
Oh.
There is a separate bathroom in your prison?
Yeah.
Not that would be big enough for that.
It wouldn't be too big a position to be.
I would think maybe room
The restroom right there.
That would be first, that's taking up a lot of space, just.
Or is that a women's room, or is that for both?
It's just the appraiser's office,
Yeah.
bathroom.
Do we have a floor plan or a diagram of the courthouse somewhere? That might be, sometime we could just look at it and maybe,
Yeah.
sometimes there's something hidden there you can't think of right off.
I think Roger Denton has a digital copy of it, I think that they have a digital floor plan.
Where you don't see rooms down there, that's what the vaults are.
So you can take one of them.
I think the easiest is to move them over vehicles sometimes.
We're gonna hope.
County Rescue Building?
Where?
County Rescue Building?
Yeah, I dropped in it. It's not a real good location, but it's also,
I don't think so.
I don't know what you'd have to do out there, but
A lot of coding issues in there, to have people there during business hours, and, I don't know,
Why couldn't it go to the Heritage Conference Center,
what,
the motor vehicle? It's a state of Kansas function, not ours.
they ain't got no
We've been through the whole thing since the renovation, but they used to have several smaller rooms.
Does State Kansas doesn't pay us anything for using that space, do they?
$10 a quarter for reimbursement of, electrical, the heat and the.
Does the trader get 10,000 a year for doing what they do? Trader gets 10,000 a year off the motor vehicle?
They get off of tag. But the driver's license is kept, but then there is money that they get for the
Providing.
driver's license.
They also get a little bit for providing the staff member too, right?
Probably, there's so much that they get, they keep from that driver's license.
That'd be K-Word we'd have to talk with about that one. That'd be a K-Word department.
And Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
What about, we said the, motor vehicles was, originally out there by Phelan's or in the state building there, but they wouldn't have room. Yeah, would they? It was there at one time, you know,
The front part, I think they got offices in there.
offices.
Oh, the KDOT.
I've been in there a few times,
Should
but
have done that.
I don't know what's all. I mean, the Highway Patrol has their little computers and stuff in there that they use.
I wonder if Gerber would be willing to rent an office or something.
Not for $250 a month,
No.
or quarter.
Order. So what you're saying is if we can't find someplace at 250, they can pull it?
I don't know, no, I've heard that if we don't provide them a spot in the courthouse, that they'll do away with the driver's license bureau here, and everybody have to go to Troy.
We don't want to do that.
I've heard that too. I don't know if that was how true it was, but I've heard that as well. We have a lot of angry citizens.
That is a pretty large room though for what they do, I mean,
Oh, I agree with you there. I mean,
I don't know if there's any single spots you could put them in, I mean.
What would be for the steering, we could do a flip flop. Parameters.
as I said, like, can we reconfigure something downstairs with them?
Their office is pretty big. They have 2 rooms connected down there.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
And shift.
You wouldn't have
Them
any
over there.
rooms
Take the,
in this part here that could have,
Now we're gonna have public access.
not, yeah.
I don't know, I think I mean, if Lampy's office isn't there, that would be you could just put a little hallway with a door for Michelle's office, but, I mean,
Well, you know, if that's a problem, of course, I don't know how big it is, make that commission room and put how many people on Tuesday or whatever.
I don't think it's big enough for that.
I don't think that is big.
have to move motor vehicles over to that Lankey's office.
And that'd be too big for what they need, but.
Lampy's office isn't that big.
It isn't, I mean,
You know, if you
ceilings, but
could partition, Michelle's off with the door, and, I mean, they could walk straight through.
well, honestly, why we reconfigure downstairs and have her go with the rest of the staff.
Michelle?
I think you want Fraser's on one level, wouldn't you?
I think it's pretty convenient to have her there when you have issues with your tags and stuff at the treasurer's office. You can go right over there to her. Or sometimes you have to take your assessments over there.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty public, she's kind of the public end of the office.
It would be a pain to have to go from there, then downstairs and back up. I mean, but it is what it
It'd be
is.
a bigger pain if you have a motor vehicle office get closed in your county, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but his office
That'd be my
back
only
there,
concern is
if his
something
office,
move and.
Yeah, but if you could take Lampy's office back downstairs and then put motor vehicles in Lampy's office.
Yeah.
but you can, I mean, even leave, they don't need Michelle's area too. I mean, you could like I said, partition that part off and for nothing. I mean,
I think that's the easiest solution. Jim's probably not gonna like it, but
who?
Jim probably not gonna like it.
Well, is there an improvement we could do
2 days a week, I mean.
when we move him down there to give him an incentive to
Can we blow that wall out, and maybe move that hallway?
Well, he could still have hearings when he has hearings. They aren't scheduled on Tuesdays.
Or you can have hearings in our room.
Well, I know, but if you're at a commission meeting, oh no, I see.
You check the jury, oh, you're not even doing that now.
Well, if he has, issues, or,
If you have a hearing, he has to have a,
Would he be able to use one of your interview rooms if he has to?
Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say he couldn't use, if we move the motor vehicle, we move him down there, we move him over.
He needs the computers.
Huh?
He needs the computers for the
On
hearing.
Tuesdays, you can use that.
We have,
You're saying
we have their
I mean,
network over
if it
here.
wasn't on Tuesday.
yeah.
We're on, we're on there, sir.
Correct.
He could have his hearings on
There's a lot of
Wednesday.
computers in there, so.
Where,
He'd have 4 days a week to have hearings.
there's capabilities. Drop a line.
You know, he said he'd like to be where we want here, when we're here. And my
Does he have a laptop?
He's gonna be elected maybe.
Well,
By the time
he's got that I think he's got like 4 screens.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, but if you have screens on the wall, I'm just talking, I'm just.
Well, I don't know how expensive that would be.
Having a screen?
And then do you know where the breaker
And to
is?
put them on the wall.
Yeah, it's cheap.
There's a door that's connected in the little break room.
I know he uses them when he has the hearings.
We just put TVs on the screen, if you had,
Or
frankly, we could use them at times when we have people coming over to PowerPoint,
What
it's kind of,
minute? And they could explain, there's one over there.
it's not exactly laid out. Where we have somebody coming out to present us, something like that, we don't have to bring spots, we just have something where they plug in that TV where people can see it, it'd probably be.
Those interview rooms aren't handicap accessible.
But I guess, you're talking about if Jim had some type of a hearing, what if, I mean, if we moved his office downstairs, wouldn't he have his office down there to have hearings in?
Set up for it, yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since it's been down, I mean, paid attention to the detail of how big the room is, but it's pretty good size.
Well, if we move one motor vehicle, if it's not on Tuesday, I mean, anybody could use that room for having meetings or educating or anything. I mean, that's pretty valuable room down there to tie up one day a week, but I don't know why it can be multi-used. I think that's the best plan. I don't know who we contacted. Do we have to get hold of motor vehicle guru, or we just tell them, you're going here, we're going here?
When Jim was moved from, he was in the basement and moved to his current location, what was the,
That's where he's going.
He's over there.
his office has always been up there? Okay.
It's pretty crowded down there, because he's got, what, 3 girls in that one office? That's probably where he
Yeah.
He has
2 girls in.
And the outside
Roger.
room.
and Roger has his own little area in the corner. And then they're back against the far wall. And then there's an entryway to a whole nother room where, is it Belinda? Is her name? She's back there.
Is Debbie back there with her, or she used to be back?
Yeah,
Debbie's back there too,
I
yeah.
have to look at it.
And then when they had their intern, he was back there as well. So there were 3 people back there.
Yeah.
So when you start that process, probably Shannon.
She'd know who to contact, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the state has some guidelines.
I'm sure as long as they had like, there's probably certain set criteria requirements they need for that office to work, but.
Well, they have the state architect who's given guidance on what every secretary needs, and I know they have, because it's a huge book.
I think he's gone this week, but Roger's back next week. Yeah? we can do that.
That's the easiest fix. I mean, they're gonna be a little bit cramped down there for it.
No feeling.
I mean, I still think ideally it'd be nice to be up in that small courtroom still. That'd be synonymous with most commissioners that I've ever been in, but.
I like the fact that the commissioner room be on the bottom floor when people come in.
That'd be good.
Okay, it's gonna be up to 2 or 3 of us, what's the opinion of the rest of the crowd? What do you think, how do you feel about that?
About moving it down there.
Yeah, move Jim Lappy down, move the motor vehicle over there, and the commissioner go back in the motor vehicle.
Well, I don't know whether there's adequate space for Randy's office to be in the basement, or the appraiser's office. He's gonna be gone in July, so he won't care, but, if there's adequate space for that person to be able to meet with the public who comes in to talk about, the appraisal on their property, and he does that a lot. I don't know, so we have to see what space we can trade it for. I suppose there's also the possibility of moving the appraiser's office out of the courthouse, and you can put community corrections down there. So, I guess a whole bunch of things you could do. It's a domino, you move one thing and then something else has to get moved, because of it, and then something else has to get moved.
One thing we have control over are our own agencies, but or you guys that do, and you don't have control over what the motor vehicle does, or the driver's license bureau does, because I mean, you could work all around them all you want, and all of a sudden they could be budget cuts and no longer can do it in Atchison.
Well, they could be, but they could also say, gosh, the room we have here is terrible, we're just gonna make people drive to Doniphan or Leavenworth, and we never, I don't think our citizens would want that. So,
That's the thing cutting that surge, if we did cut that, then we would probably, it'd be very inconvenient for
'Cause she works,
our citizens.
Shannon goes to, when the treasurer,
She goes to Donovan.
she goes to Doniphan to fill in up there, I think, so.
Yeah, but do you feel that
So they're only open one
moving
day a
where
week.
they're at, the gym's that much smaller than the play? I mean, they're pretty close size-wise, it's not that much smaller.
It's probably just as wide, but less, not as long.
I'm not any good at picturing.
It's pretty close size.
I've never been in Jim's office, so.
From the far northeast corner, first floor, so you come in the east doors, it's there your meter.
It's behind the shells.
Yeah. I guess when Roger gets back, I think he's gone this week, maybe I'd have him to go look. He showed us blueprints on digitalized, I believe, now, I think, we're drafting up to One question about it here, Courtney, you want to, why don't you go ahead and draft? One question for you up here, with reconfiguration of this, is that already budgeted?
Yeah, the only expense to what it'll take up here would be coming out of 911 funds.
Okay.
The only extra expense on top of the radio system upgrade. So, and that's only for the desks that they would be established on, which are probably gonna have to be upgraded one way or the other, so.
Well, this guy's basketball game's gonna call.
Yeah, I think we're about, unless you have something else for us. We just let them.
What about that room that's downstairs next to the appraiser's office that they use for their, that the refrigerator's in? Why couldn't that wall be knocked out? It's connected anyway.
That's got my election, some of my election stuff in it.
Just
Oh,
which one
one.
page?
I mean, it's a pretty
Which one is
decent
it?
size.
It's the one right as you come down the steps. I have some of my stuff that I haven't moved, I mean, I didn't move out to the, cave that we need to use. We just moved the little refrigerator down there.
Could it be moved to the cave?
What, my stuff? It was just that we'd have to go all the way out to the cave to get my stuff when we pack the supplies.
For elections?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, how often would that be, once, twice a year, or?
possible, isn't it? Going out and getting it and bringing it back. It's not that, I mean, the room's not that big.
Sure,
But
but it
it's
adds
not
more
that
extra
long
space,
then.
I guess is what.
I mean, I've given up a lot of room over the years for other, you know. So, that was the only room I got to keep.
I don't think we take any rooms away from you.
Well, at one time, I had part of the commission room when they moved up here, because that went to the driver's license. I had some of my stuff in the computer room, I had to move all of that, so
How many vaults do you have?
I just have the one.
You have, well, you got the one downstairs, and you got the one right next
Right
to
in my
yours.
office, yeah.
Aren't some rooms upstairs aren't being used?
We have to pass that. It was-
Across from the
Well,
county.
they're used for storage, but they're not accessible.
Well, I mean, as far as moving storage items certain places, I mean, not necessarily Pauline's, but I mean, if there's other things being stored in one room that could be consolidated in two room, you know, in one room.
Well, the one, I don't know about the one on this side. On that side, across the hall from the county attorney's office, that one's pretty full. It's got court records.
This up here has all court records, too, then, Deal County.
Yeah, I haven't been in that office in many years, so I don't know.
I mean, I
Yeah,
thought that had all this.
I know we used to have a lot of stuff up in the attic, but the architects told us not to store stuff up there, right? Or not to store
Anything more.
anything more, okay.
Oh,
Weight
yeah.
restriction?
Yeah.
They were taking some stuff out of that. Didn't the county attorney's office take a bunch of stuff out of there?
I don't know.
That's what Joe Bowen, when he took me up there, I think they took a bunch of
few
stuff.
years ago, yeah.
There's like no sprinkler system that something goes, it goes. There's some pretty old documents up there too. Like, I think maybe original blueprints and, it's like original courthouse stuff. 'Cause some of that's pretty old. Dates back to like 1860s, I believe. Last I had seen.
And I've got the original courthouse, I don't know.
So there's some really old documents, right when you come up top stairs, you go to your left. You're headed towards the east side of the, there's like racks, or there's something there that sort of,
Could be something that has, I mean, that's the, road and bridge department, because they used to be in that office.
What's in this room right here, jury room?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Could that be designated as your storage if we had to move? This is gonna be a rather large room here if we're,
yeah, it's really not, it's not utilized at all, really. I mean, we don't do anything with it.
and it wouldn't be used at all for jury room if this was gonna be communications here.
Yeah, it's never been used.
It's really never been used.
Right, but, you know, it couldn't be used for anything else, and
It'd be a secured area, for,
once or twice a year, they would be bringing that stuff out.
we'd probably, I mean, we'd probably use it in the, dispatch would probably use it for something, I mean, for storing some of their things and,
This room?
I mean, they probably wouldn't have to if I had a room out here, but, there's some things that, you know, a break room or, I don't know.
I don't wanna step on anybody's toes, I think we're just gonna have to come up with something to go with it, and, because this was gonna want this was gonna want that, this was gonna want this,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have to come up with a decision, and that's how it is. So,
Yeah, Roger Denton will be back next week, if he's on this week. Probably have him, he has some CAD software that he can use to draft up some plans, that at least give us an idea to look at. So all we can do is shuffle some stuff around. Anything on the agenda for next week? What about interlocal agreements, where are we at with?
Well, she's probably the one from here, and Mike has those, I don't know where they are.
I was gonna email Mike and find out what he.
Mike has the original assignments.
Did you look at the one
Yeah,
from
May.
here, is it all,
Yeah,
is it correct and everything?
Yeah.
Fire system budgets.
Yeah, it's almost like we have to immediately turn around and get thinking about it for the next budget cycle.
Must be to be something like multi-year agreement. I thought that,
I mean, that's why, I mean, it was, 2 years ago, it was really pulling teeth to get what we got for 1 year, and, it was not an easy process to try to get everybody to agree. And, we have one party that doesn't want to meet if we don't already have an agreement, and so it's been difficult to, it's been impossible to get everybody in the same room at one time.
Oh, maybe you wanna get me something, I can take to Bruce about your reports or whatever you want.
Yeah.
so you'll have something for us on those agreements next week, is that
Well,
what?
Mike has the originals, I don't know where they are,
I have here,
Yeah.
I told him I have.
so they could be adopted, but I don't know where the original agreements are, that have been approved by the cities.
I was gonna email Mike, find out.
I went to Lancaster and got theirs, but I gave it to Mike. So I don't know where they are.
If you email him and he needs to get them to us, I can go pick them up from him or from his house or something.
Y'all come here.
Yeah, I don't see why we don't do that. That's a good-
Why we don't see that?
Have all the cities come here. Have a joint meeting here.
Well, I noticed one up that, maybe we don't want to talk about it on the, I don't think all the cities will show up if you do that. But I agree with you, but I don't think all the cities will show up.
Okay.
You got the paperwork done, cause Matt said the truck's coming in next week, so.
I see, I got an email from Mark Windsor while we were here meeting.
So, cause we want to check, have to cut a check.
I got an email today while we were meeting about it.
So, getting back to this room, I'd say you're gonna get this room, so you want us, you know, how you wanna do with it, or?
We have a layout of how the room would be laid out, and a CAD drawing which shows an image in the end result of how it would or could be set up, and I think there's still some ideas that are going around, but we obviously don't want to get too involved with the company if it's not going to happen, so we have to kind of put it on hold.
What you do away with this door here, we keep.
We'd have to secure that one and the one at the bottom of the stairs.
Is there, just out of curiosity, Dirk's got an awful lot of stuff out down through there. Is there someplace he can store that? I mean, he's got paint cans and all kinds of
Crap.
I mean, that is kind of public
That's a
access.
question we're gonna have him.
Or at least build a wall across.
See, I.
Yeah, underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
Last week was the first time I went down that way.
Can't store it underneath stairs because that's tornado shelter.
I couldn't go down, look, you know what we're talking about.
I came up through there, hauling.
That's where the shelter there.
See,
That's where it is.
I've been told.
Who designed it there?
John.
No, that would've been like architect or something. Wow.
Well, that's part of the.
I don't know.
The old facility.
What, can you get 3 people in there? 4? That seems awfully small. We got a lot more than that.
Well, it's done to those stairs and these stairs back here downstairs. And it's the same thing. We do store stuff down there. We store those extra beds and stuff. You're not supposed to. There's tile, a bunch of floor tiles and everything. And we can probably find a place for it, but
Mr. Chairman, at 3:10, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sorry, guys were keeping.
You go down and play the Bulldog, or see the Bulldog, the foul.
Probably sad after last night.
a trailer's throw in, 3 seconds, we didn't plan out. He had a presence time to throw, he had a great throw in, very, I don't know if he got fouled or not, but, they're not gonna call that. I don't know if I do that. We still got a game in the league. With 5 to 5. So, I think they're gonna beat the heck out of PCU Saturday.
I'll stop by your office and I'll make the one if you want to do something.
Yes, we're down there now.
All that out, so wherever that CDBG grants. We gotta get this thing